Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Crypto Bull Ron coming to you live from Las Vegas on a Friday. Coming a little earlier today because I am leaving today, so I need a little packing to do. So I'm going to try and brought the show a little earlier, try and end it right around the time the market opens. But wanted to come to you and just bring this, and also on. People can listen to it on the. Hold on a second. I'm just checking to see if everything's working over here. If we're getting everything on, people can hear me over here on X. Hold on a second. Just checking to see if everything's working. Looks like it's working over there. Sorry, I'm talking. My wife's in the next room here. Don't want to wake her up. I already woke her up earlier talking on a space, and it's early here. It's like 6 a.m. here right now. So, um, 3 hours earlier than 3 hours earlier than we are in East Coast. For some of you on the East Coast, of course, we got people coming from all over the world. So, um, okay, what's going on? There we go. Trying a little chat feature here. So, um, okay, there we go. Okay, well, let's get this party started. So, like I said, I won't be talking real loud because I don't want to wake my wife up again, but coming a little earlier than usual. So maybe some people will be listening, joining us later, or joining us because I'm usually here in about 15 or 20 minutes from now. But like I said, I wanted to get jump on a big news day today for a Friday as well. First off, let's start looking here at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's not doing too bad. 70,384. As you look, we got down into the 68s, just below 70. So we're up about 1,500 ish off our lows. So I would say that's not too bad. I'll take that. Honestly, I think that's not bad at all. But everything it's just kind of Bitcoin that's doing okay. Nothing else really doing okay. Bitcoin actually up 1.5% for the day. So, um, look, all about the oil product. We've got some escalation over there and the market. We'll just take first refresh it, and then I'll make it bigger here. And I'll recap it as people join me, like I say, because I know that people are usually join me. Like I say, I'm usually coming here 15, 20 minutes later. I'm going to kind of push the show forward about a half an hour today. So bear with me. But NASDAQ, it looks to me like NASDAQ is going to open up, or right now it's looking to open up here in 23 minutes at about 0.41 negative. Dow Jones 0.29, S&P futures down 0.29. And that's just look and see if let me see if these screens are working. It looks like the screen's lagging a little bit over on X, but maybe it's just got a little bit of a delay over there. Hopefully you can hear me. You never know with this Wi-Fi in the hotels if people it's going to work good. But hopefully everyone can hear me loud and clear. And like I say, coming a little earlier than normal, but yeah. So right now, as of right now, we're looking at. Okay, there we go. Okay. Anyway, we are looking at to look a little bit in the red, and when we go back to Bitcoin here, we can see that Bitcoin's doing good. Is holding stronger than everything, and it has been. We're 3 weeks tomorrow that the war started over there in Iran. So, and you see Bitcoin's up 1.5%. Ethereum is up a little bit, like at 21.43. XRP just slightly up 0.1 at $1.44.4. And Solana is sitting at 89.48. So it's up 1.5%. So Bitcoin kind of ran initially, not a lot, but came up a little bit. I'm really happy. Between me and you, I'm really happy to see us above 70,000. And for those, I see people just joining us coming live from YouTube or from X. We are. I am coming from you a little live because I'm in Vegas, so I wanted to push the show a little earlier so I can get packed and whatnot. But March Madness down here, I saw a couple of days ago. A lot of people flowing in, and so they can come out and watch their basketball teams. But anyway, that's where we're at. So we'll check back, like I said, as the market gets closer to opening. We're about 21 minutes away right now. We'll kind of talk about the news, bring you up to speed. Like I say, I'm going to talk fast this morning because about to bring your attention. Yeah, first thing I wanted to bring to your attention is this. First thing I read, we're at 11 extreme fear. Now let's go last month. Okay, we got down in extreme fear, like crazy levels, 4, 5, 6, 8, stuff we'd almost never seen before, right? And I was telling you, this is what happens when you get close to a bottom, or you're forming a bottom, or you bottomed out. And then we kind of gradually worked our way up. As price went up, the sentiment seemed to be better. And I think we spent 45, 46 days in extreme fear, which is crazy. And then for one day, like 2 days ago, we popped out of it barely. And then yesterday we were back in extreme fear, but we are still like 24. And that I looked today and we're cut in half. And it just reflects the sentiment out there is really bad with what's going on with the Middle East. There's quite an escalation as far as what's happening with like major infrastructures being hit. So that's what we'll talk about. That's the theme of the day. That's really the overriding. Let's see. I've got a crappy lighting coming in here. Let me reshare the screen. I don't have any of my lights on, so I'm looking frozen here. Yeah, it's not working because I have all my lights turned off. Let's get me back here where we're supposed to be here. There we go. Look at damn ghost coming at you there. Okay, so a little technical difficulties here, but back here. Okay, so yeah, I didn't realize. Sorry, I don't have any of my lights. At least it would have worked, but I've got my the lighting's bad, so it's messing up my green screen and everything. So um, didn't even realize that. Anyway, yeah, without the lighting, it won't pick it up. So I should have at least left my lighting on. But anyway, back to the fear and greed. So it's kind of crazy that yeah, we're dealing with. But like I say, looking everything that's going on in the world. So we'll kind of hit this news. We'll talk about it. Let's make sure I've got a delay. Okay, so Gemini, the Winklevoss twins. They The Winklevoss twins are getting sued, basically a class action lawsuit in New York, of course, over alleged misleading disclosures tied to the 2025. Having taken a company I founded public, and having helped take a few companies public, and then served as the CEO, I'll just tell you this. This is just pretty standard practice. If your CEO does, if your IPO rather doesn't meet expectations, you're going to get sued. It's just you probably can get sued anyway. So we got sued all the time. Anytime your stock dips, anytime anything happens, everyone's out to sue you. So I wouldn't take this too seriously. Um, but I think it probably has underperformed. I haven't looked much at the stock, but they came in a bad time. I'm sure it'll pop back. Really good exchange in my opinion. So shout out to those guys. Luck with that. Like I say, I wouldn't read too much into that, but it is new. So they're saying now, and I think this is what's caused the drop in sentiment and the fear and greed to come way down. And also, I would say the stock market. Then so uh, we're going to see, and I'll show you a few things that have happened that are kind of major escalation as far as Iran hitting their neighbors' critical energy infrastructure. But Trump's saying now their plan is to occupy or blockade. Maybe even with some. They even mentioned they might hit it some with some more strikes. They need to shut this island off because that handles 90% country's oil exports. So if they shut that down, Iran has zero way to generate money. They don't want to destroy it if they don't have to, but I'll tell you what, as much as they're pushing their luck, that could happen, and they could get it would knock Iran between this and their other major, internal generating thing that got hit by the Israelis the other day. That would knock them back into the Stone Ages. So I don't think that's the goal of anyone. I don't think that benefits everybody. Um, and also, I noticed this. I also noticed that the U.S. has launched a major operation in the Straits of Hormuz, targeting Iranian naval vessels using Apache and A-10 ground attack aircraft. So they've already effectively wiped out the big parts of their navy. Now they're going after just little fast boats right here, right? We saw that a week or so ago. I shared that the tunnels full of these little boats that can drop bomb mines, or they can do suicide runs or whatever against um, boats. So these Apaches and A-10 are made to like fight tanks and stuff like that. So they're very low. They can fly very low, and they've got these Gatling guns on there. In fact, I pulled this up about the Warthog. Fairchild Republic A-10 Thunderbolt, famously named the Warthog, is a specialized single-seat twin turbofan aircraft designed for close support of ground forces, offering excellent maneuverability at low speeds. Renowned for durability, it features a 30 millimeter GAU Avenger rotary gun, basically a Gatling gun, and can do armored vehicles and can withstand heavily damaged. So it's got this 30 millimeter Gatling gun that fires 3,900 rounds per minute. So, and it's meant to take out tanks, so it can take out any boat. It will just shred any boat, and they can take smaller targets even if they're moving fast or whatever. So, same with the Apaches, and also they have this titanium bathtub that protects the guys, so they can get shot because they're going to get shot. Even a boat with guys, they may have mounted machine guns on them, which I think we did see in some of those pictures, and maybe even just shooting AKs. They can take they're meant to take a ton of damage, and they even have a redundant hydraulic system. So that we see that they are definitely moving in. They're definitely moving in to blockade or take over the Karg Island. So that's why the escalation. But they're going to have to, based on what Iran's doing here, just hitting the neighbors. Of course, wanted to mention in if you're in Vegas or you're in America, we have a thing out here called March Madness, which is the playoffs for the college. Just started, I think, a couple of days ago. People were just pouring into Vegas. I noticed a huge, like yesterday, all day long, the sports bars are just piling people betting. They can come out here, they can bet, hang out with their friends, and it's a lot of what we do as Americans to hell. And my team BYU got knocked out. We were like number 5, got knocked out by I think number 10. Yeah, we got knocked out by number 11, Texas. So Texas, another one of my favorite uh, universities. In fact, probably if I could do it again, I'd probably go to school down there. Looks like a lot of fun down in Austin, Texas. But anyway, so I think that was an upset. Now everyone's out there playing for slack or sometimes aren't playing right, and that's why I think the competition, March Madness, and I guess I'm not a sports guy, but have seen people everywhere, and even these games run all day long, and people can bet and have fun, drink beer, get drunk, chill with your friends, gamble, whatever. So um, that's going on right now. So I think it lasts a week or two, and it gets down to the final. It gets down to like the Sweet 16, and then I mean it's a tournament base, so it's what's so fun about it. And you have these upsets, major upsets. So anyway, that's what's one thing that's going on here in the United States. And like I say, my team already lost, so we never. This was our year to do good, and got knocked out in the first round. Qatar rejects claims that Qatar. I don't know if you say it Qatar or Qatar. I've always said Qatar. A lot of people say it Qatar, but either way, Qatar has rejected Iran's claim that recent attacks were aimed at U.S. assets. Strikes also hit the nation's gas facility and infrastructure. So this is really getting serious, and we'll show you a few more articles here. But if you're just joining me, I'm coming a little earlier today. Coming from Vegas, my last day in Vegas here. Been down here on some business. Probably heading. You never know. I might stay another week, but as of right now, I'm planning on leaving. But heading back home. But earlier, my thing went on. I have all my lights shut off in my hotel room, so I look like a ghost out there. My green screen not working. But anyway, just the overall, I came a little early just so I'd have some more time to pack and stuff before my other Bitcoin morning space on X. But just wanted to say that it's all about this Straits of Hormuz and this escalation, which is what we're talking about. And Trump saying he's going to blockade or take over a Karg Island as kind of a bargaining chip. So it's getting worse. We're 3 weeks tomorrow since these strikes happened. It seems to be at a standstill. And fear and greed went from 24 extreme fear, the top of extreme fear, to 11, kind of the middle of extreme fears. That was a drastic drop. Kind of surprising. Market opens in 10 minutes. I'm just going to get you all caught up on the news, and then we'll check the market right as it opens, and I'll probably sign off after that. But appreciate everyone joining me here. It's always a little harder when you're traveling and using Wi-Fi. Normally, sometimes I'll even do this show from my truck, but parking's become a pain here, and so far I have been able to at least kind of get by a little bit here with the Wi-Fi here in the hotel. So Iran spent the last few days hitting energy infrastructure across the region. Qatar's LNG capacity cut 17% in a single day, with repairs taking up to 5 years. Kuwait's two main refineries on fire. Saudi's oil loading halted, which is on the other side. They have a Saudi Arabia. They can go out the other side. There's a way for them to take stuff out of the other side of the country, and that got hit. So they don't have to go through the Straits of Hormuz. They pipeline it, they send it to the other side of the country, and that got taken out, I believe. So, or is in damage. So, of course, the Straits of Hormuz effectively closed. Now Iran's going after infrastructure. So, Iran can't win the skies or sea, but a full-blown energy crisis that could work. So, but that's not. They're not going. That's not. They're not going to allow that to happen. It's getting to the stage where if this happens, it's gonna. And I think you're going to see their neighbors joining in this war. So anyway, what no one wants to see is this turn into a long, multi-year war, multi-month, multi-year war, right? And I think that's what people are starting to feel like, and that's why we're seeing this everything down really, except for Bitcoin and a little bit of crypto. We are holding good over this last 3 weeks, but traditional markets are bleeding bad. Um, Good news here: Bitcoin Quantum has launched testnet version zero point 0.3 with the first live deployment of BIP, Bitcoin Improvement Protocol 360, a quantum resistant upgrade. So they are already working on this. So that was good news, I thought. And I know Saylor's got a thing he's doing, because that's kind of the only real flaw in Bitcoin, or something that could be in the future. So I thought that was good news. Like I say, tons of news today, man, for a Friday. Qatar Gas CEO said, we incurred a $20 billion loss at the facility we built for $26 billion 2 years ago. So this isn't going to fly, I can tell you. Not going to fly with their neighbors. Now, this is good news for crypto side. I mean, we've been saying for months now we need to get the structure bill and Clarity Act done. But White House reporter just said Senate is 99% done with stablecoin yield negotiations. Bitcoin and crypto market structure bill making major progress. So this is going to happen. This is absolutely critical. The banks, we know what the dilemma is. The banks do not want people to pay 4, 5, 6% interest on stable coins, because they know they'll continue to bleed. So they're trying to, through regulation, protect themselves. Monopoly on this scam. They've been ripping us off for generations, and they want it to continue. So it's not, I can tell you it's not going to happen. But anyway, it's okay to get it negotiated now. But this is law too. And keep in mind, it's very hard to pass law in the United States. Executive orders get wiped out by the next guy coming in. We don't want to go back to a Gary Gensler negative situation, whereas right now we have such a positive one. But if you put it in law, then it could stay for decades or forever. Um, I saw this. We've known this is going on, right? We know that even though they try and stop the NVIDIA chips from going to China and stuff, this is just in. Super Micro co-founder arrested for smuggling 2.5 billion NVIDIA GPUs to China. So SCMI co-founder Inge Shaywan Wally arrested today. Personally holds 464 million. Charged of smuggling billions in NVIDIA servers to China. Used a Southeastern Asian shell company to funnel 2.5 billion in servers to Chinese buyers. 510 million shipped in spring of 2025 when all the tariffs were happening. Built thousands of fake dummy servers to fool U.S. compliance auditors. Caught on surveillance camera using a hairdryer to swap serial number stickers. Coordinated the whole thing over encrypted group chats. Anyway, he faced up to 30 years in prison. They're down 12%. But let me just tell you, this stuff goes on. This diverting, we know it goes on. It's sometimes it's even, I would say that sometimes, I wouldn't say it's totally condoned, but sometimes people just will go in and they'll kind of, they know what's going on. They're not really trying that hard to stop it. But in this case, they're going on. Oh, hey, Crypto Gains, GM, man. Coming a little earlier today, joining me from X. Appreciate it, brother. In Vegas, so I'm gonna kind of run through the news and stop here in the next 10 minutes or less. Just so appreciate people coming here earlier. The live stream, I don't have any of my lighting on, so I had a little ghost moment going on there with the blue screen malfunctioning when we got a little bit of a glitch. But other than that, going smooth. The overall theme here is just escalation over there with Iran hitting their infrastructure, their neighbors, and now Trump saying they're going to blockade or take over the Straits of Hormuz, and they're using Apache helicopters and A-10 Warthogs. They're gonna just shred any boat out there. So do not go fishing, do not go jet skiing or wakeboarding anywhere in the Straits of Hormuz if you're you wouldn't want to get caught up in that. It's going to get ugly. But anyway, it's just, we went from 24 extreme fear yesterday, the top of extreme fear, to 11 today. It's just this overall sentiment of everything just kind of feeling like it's going to drag on and traditional market losing money. However, the good news is Bitcoin, XRP, Solana, Ethereum holding pretty well, all things considered. $750 million, I think they just raised. Abra, CEO, just confirmed it will buy Bitcoin with massive new fundraise. This is why I come to you, and this is what I'm trying to make everyone understand here. What I see is the government, this is what they said, and like myself, the government is not going to stop printing. We love Bitcoin at 120K. We love it even more at 60K. So just another corporate buyer raising money from investors and holding Bitcoin. So this is it. We're still early. That's what it always feels late. At $80, Bitcoin felt late. At $2, it felt late to people getting in. $20, you always think you vote. You haven't. It should be DCAing in if it works for your financial situation. South Korean president declares Bitcoin a national priority. Man, this is what we're seeing. We're seeing governments jumping on board. We're seeing regulatory clarity. It's the best time, in my opinion, ever. With the risk reward, the best time to ever buy Bitcoin. We've got the UAE, now one of the first nations to include Bitcoin in school curriculum. First one we saw, and the only other one I know of right now is Bukalele, his country. What is that? I don't know. Sometimes I forget it, but I'm talking about the first people that adopt Bitcoin, El Salvador. Yeah, and that's they were the first, and I think they're the second. But these are four, man. The UAE, man. This is the king, I believe, of Dubai. And man, he's beloved. People love him. Every store you go into, every restaurant, they got pictures of him. He goes out. I don't know, he drives himself. I mean, I would think he has security, but he is a beloved individual, beloved leader, because he's doing great things. So that you see that here's one of the smartest best leaders in history and certainly in the modern world. And what is he doing? They're educating their people on Bitcoin. It's not going away, man. This alone, if you really ponder on it, should make you want to run out and buy some freaking Bitcoin. Saw this for Rover. Oil operator reportedly paid Iran a $2 million fee for through the Straits of Hormuz. Iran charging select countries millions per tanker for safe transit. This is like mafioso type bullshit, right? This isn't going to fly. And obviously, if you've got, $200 million worth of oil, yeah, you'll pay it, but this isn't going to fly. This onesie twosie kind of, people parking on this money. So that's why this is about to change. But it's strategically not an easy thing, and that's why we are where we are, right? Iran just put tech in big danger. Qatar's or Qatar, however you say it, helium plant just got hit, which produces 33% of the global supply. 12 countries rely heavily on quantum Qatar's helium with no substitute or restart timeline. It could take 5 years until normal production is resumed due to the damage. So now we've got tech and medical. They use helium as laughing gas, right? They use it as, I don't know if it's probably not the main component, but they use it as part of it. And it's used for a lot of things, right? Because it's a really light gas. So I don't know what all they use it for. Maybe cooling and stuff. I'm not sure, but I know like divers use it. Compressed air. When you go deeper, you breathe part helium and less oxygen or less whatever else is in the tank. So anyway, yeah, not good, right? This is getting serious, and this is why futures are down, and that's why fear and greed's all the way down to extreme fear of 11 again. $1.9 trillion Morgan Stanley files for spot Bitcoin ETF. So one of the biggest countries, kind of late to the game, but they're now going to do their own ETF. Only about 4% of these financial guys are talking to their client about Bitcoin. By the time they do, by the time everyone's doing it, Bitcoin will be $1 million. That's our path. That's what we do. That's why we buy. That's why we DCA right now, because this is happening, and this could take years, but pretty soon, every state, every country, every financial institution, every 401k, every sovereign wealth fund, every country will own Bitcoin, and then it'll go from 1 to 5% allocation to 10, 15, 20%. I mean, this is the opportunity of a lifetime for you if you're listening. Once again, I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own research. Everyone's situation is different, but you need to wake up and smell the freaking coffee. U.S. White House says gold reserves may be used to purchase Bitcoin. Man, get out of here, right? This should happen, by the way. America owns so much gold, and it was bought at so much cheaper. And even now, it's valued at like stupid low price, like $50 an ounce or $20 an ounce. And gold's just under 5,000 right now. So anyway, this would be huge. Some other countries, we saw a country the other day was doing, I can't remember who it was, but if America does this, then that the floodgates open, right? Then you missed your chance. Lots no love XRP virtual protocols, which I own. I actually own more virtuals than I do XRP, but virtual protocol. They're having AI agents will now be able to agentic agents will be able to operate through this new virtual protocol. They'll be able to operate with the XRP ledger, so can natively pay in XRP and USD. So this is big, right? This agentic wallets, XRP, a little protocol. I like XRP. I don't love it. I don't think it's going to $1,000. I hear on TikTok every day, $10,000. Just put in perspective for you. $1,000 XRP means XRP is worth $70 trillion, which is the gold right now of the whole world. So just forget about that. Could it reach $10, $20, $50? Yeah, maybe $100. Who knows? But just pull it back a little if you believe in those numbers. You don't know math very well. The World Gold Council launches gold framework to standardize and scale tokenized gold across digital financial systems. So that's coming. So last but not least, their CEO Paulo Tadino teases their wallet transfer of USDT and XAUT. XAUT, that's the the gold. AU is the symbol for gold, right? On the periodic table of elements. AU. So XAUT is their gold product, which is got I think $3 billion in it. So anyway, he's teasing the ultimate UX. So with that, let's take a last look. Like I say, I'm throwing my schedule a little different. Appreciate everyone who's here every day and everyone listening live. I came about a half an hour early because I need to pack and get some stuff ready before my Bitcoin show on X, the GM Bitcoin show. But so so thanks for bearing with me here. Last day in Vegas. Just trying to get everything brought together here. But okay, so yeah, I'm gotten a little worse actually. Well, Nasdaq anyway. Nasdaq looks up and opened down 77%, 0.77. Dow down about a quarter, 0.27. S&P down 0.45. So about a little worse on the Nasdaq, but once again, things can go back and forth between this first hour. We'll call it a day and have a weekend. I'll tell you, news Friday could be. It would be. I think it's going to kind of be drastically different than where we are here come Monday morning. I could be wrong. We could get some bad news, or we get some good news, and it could go. Otherwise, see a little volatility. I would say don't take anything too seriously. I don't see a matter, but like you say, prepare for anything. Prepare for some volatility. And sideways, maybe a slow, but I'm happy we're over 70. If we can hold there, I'm pretty happy, all things considered. Yeah, Bitcoin sitting at 70,066, Ethereum 2134, XRP $1.04. We're sitting at we're 88. So we're in Bitcoin. You see, we got down below 69,000. Now we just lost 70. Let's see it. I'd like to hold this. If we can hold in the 69, 68 range, even to 70, 71, I feel good about that. But, sentiment is bad. We're getting some escalation over it. It's uncertainty. Investors hate uncertainty, man. As long as we have it, we're going to be dealing with this. So buckle in, touch some grass. If you don't get too freaked out. There's so little in that bad news happens. We know Trump likes to do massive things on the weekend. If that happens, we could get a dump. But once again, he does that intentionally so it doesn't affect us. Gives him a few day window before the market's open. So I would say have a great weekend. Don't get too freaked out. If something major happens, I'll jump back at you. I don't do a show tomorrow and Friday. I do a little 10-minute TikTok update. If you happen to be on TikTok, same name, Crypto Bull Ron. Otherwise, I will be back on Monday. Everyone have a great weekend and hold on and dollar cost average if you have some funds. And we'll see what happens. We'll see where this goes.